Got my gloves. Got my pry bar. Let's get this thing going here. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. Next, we'll go ahead and pound these out. This is my typical setup right here. 2x4 on the sides, one in the middle to give it some support. Let's go ahead and knock these through. Make sure you put the rails into the trash bin so they don't end up in your tires. Learned that the hard way multiple times because I'm careless like that. I'm careless and I'm hairless. I just made that up. What we got here, I'm gonna point out my dolly wood clamp phone holder. This thing right here was an ingenious design I created this morning all by myself. And the basic functionality of this is placing the phone right in here, clamping it down, and that way I can point this anywhere and it's easy to move. You see, it's on a dolly. Has a nice heavy platform there to hold it down, hold it in place, and now I can videotape anything, anywhere, anytime. But getting back to the wood project, so all the pallet boards broke down. I got my stringers here, and I forgot how long the stringer is, so we'll go ahead and run to the front porch because I decided what we're gonna do. Well, my wife kind of decided what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a table to hold plants, and this is where we're gonna do it, right over here. So basically the table's gonna go from right there, you know, bring out about maybe 18 inches. So this board right here is a boot. It's a boot. It's not a boot, it's a shoe. It's about 90 inches. So that's how long it'll be, 90 inches by about, let's see if 18 inches sticks out too far. I think 18 inches will be okay. I think 12 inches will be too narrow. So we'll go 18 by 90 and we'll make it a nice tall table. We'll make it 3 feet. Sound good? Let's do it. Okay, let's draw this thing up right here. An old picture of myself. Yep. Let's see here. So we are going to do this. Okay, so something like that, right? So we'll have the those 2x4 stringers. That'll be 90, and then 18. And these right here are obviously going to be about 3.5 inches because they're the 2x4s. Maybe I'll leave a nice little 4-way cutout right there. And I'll just add to the design. The legs we'll go ahead and figure out. I don't know if I'm feeling comfortable just doing the 2x4s for legs unless I do them like on one side and then on the other side like that, so that you have more support, kind of like that. That doesn't really illustrate it very well, but you know, golly, if you do it like this, and you put the legs together like that, the legs are standing up this way, so you got, it'll just make it look more complete. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it'll do much for the structural soundness of it. It will, but I don't know if it's necessary, but I know it'll look a lot better. And then that'll be the frame of the top, and then we'll do everything here. Beep, 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 beep. We'll do it at 45 degree, and it'll all be 2x4s because it's going to be strong like a bull. These are all the 2x4s that I've obtained today. Plus I had a couple of shorties left over. So I'll go ahead and we'll plane one side on all these right here and make them look good, because we'll use those for the frame going all the way around, and then we'll use them for the tabletop, and we'll cut those at a 45 degree on the top, make them look nice. And I do have some old pieces of wood here that have the nails still in them, and if I need to use those, I'll cut those down just very carefully, paying mind to where those nails are. So let's go ahead and we'll get one side planed on all these right here so that they look good. Migle, you got some planing to do.
I have some S-planing to do.
That's right, let's get some planing done.
S-planing.
Bye, baby.
Bye, baby.
Most of the planing is done. I was all excited thinking I was done, and then I remembered that the frame of this table, I'm gonna have an edge facing out that I want to have planed down so it looks nice, and then the top is going to be visible as well. So let's go ahead and plane that. One side right here, top, that looks really good. Okay, so we got those planed down. It took a little bit just to get them to the equal depth of each other. That's another good thing about planing, because when we miter the corners, the measurements are going to be the same, and we're not going to have to mess around with that. So yeah, that's all I know. So I chose these two pieces to be our outside pieces. And I want to make sure that my planed sides are facing out. Facing out, I said. And it's going to be 18 inches wide. So I need to find myself a good piece of wood to cut 18 inches. You got these stringers right here where the four-way is cut in kind of close to each other. I'm going to go ahead and center that right there, and then I'll measure it out to 18 inches. And maybe I'll square it. I'll clean it up so this might be in the middle. But anyhow, that'll afford me some additional 2x4 to use for the tabletop. Let's just see how that goes. Alrighty, so from here to here is 10.5. So that means 5¼ should be our center, right? 5¼ measure it this way. Yeah, 5¼ 5¼ well, that'll be our center point. And if we go out to 18 inches, so that's 5¼ and that's 4 inches. You know, I don't think I'm gonna squabble about that, because at this point wood is at a premium and we don't want to waste anything. So this will not be dead center on the sides, but that's okay. This is an outdoor project. We're making it up as we go. Oh, hello. That's all I had to say. Let's do some cutting. Cut this right down the middle of the blade. All right. 18 inches we said. And then this one will go on the outside of the mark. So I'll go ahead and take a look at my wood. I want that to be on the outside. So I'll make a little mark here so I know which way I want to cut these. Because if you cut them the wrong way, then you're just wasting wood at that point. There. Exactly the same. Sometimes you have to sometimes you got to break down and measure instead of just eyeballing stuff. And now we'll cut in the 45s on our long boards. Okay, we'll see how we did on those measurements. Here we go. First try. This is the old one. 89 and 9/16. Second one. 89 and 9/16. All right, so when we put this thing together, it should be pretty square. So let's go ahead and screw her together. We'll tap a couple of holes here, and then we'll screw these together. I'm gonna put this one in straight. I'll throw that right there. The hazards that come with the job. See that? Is that worth salvaging, or should I just move on? I'll go ahead and put some glue on there and clamp it, and then I'll see if it's strong enough when I get the other side done. Let's let this set up right here, and I think we'll be good to go. Maybe not, but maybe so. Good to go, maybe not, maybe so. Glued piece, definitely not set. I would say she's pretty well set now. Wouldn't you say she's set now? Yes, she is. Set. Okay. Let's just do this again. Okay, there is the frame to our tabletop. Now all we gotta do, let me ask you, you think I should have the 45s starting at one end, you know, going across, and then in the middle, change them up so they go in the opposing direction just to make it look a little bit more interesting? Okay, I'll do it. That's what I'm gonna do. So what we gotta do is cut a piece, a 15-inch 2x4, and we'll stick it right here. So we'll draw up our 45s to that 2x4. We don't have to have a 2x4 there, but I want to, because it'll give us some extra support on the pieces that butt up to it, and it will start in the opposite direction going that way. All right. Where is our center point? As you know, this was 89 and 9/16. So what the heck is half of 89? Let's take a look. 89 and 9/16. Let's see. 89 and 9/16. So it should be about 44 and 7/8. Let's try that. 44 and 7/8. 44 and 7/8 right there. Let's go this way. 44 and 3/4. I'd say that's close enough. What do you think? Okay, there's our mark. I went ahead and cut this at 15 and 1/8 because on both sides here, our width ended up being about 15 and 1/8. Right? And over here, 15 and 1/8. That's just because I just don't know how to measure. That's okay. 15 and 1/8 it is. So I'll go ahead and just center this with that mark on this side and on this side, and I'll tap her in. So this will be our first piece. I'll go ahead and cut a 45 on this, making sure our planed piece is facing up and it's not too boogered up. So we'll go ahead and cut our 45 there. I'll come back and I'll pencil out my measurement. Actually, being a corner piece, I just had to cut out a triangle. I'll set that in there like this, and we'll screw it in. I think I'll try something a little bit different today. On a project like this anyhow. I'm going to use the brad nailer, and let's just see if that'll hold the boards in place. I'll come back and I'll throw a screw into each one. That way I can get the job done today, because I only have this many screws. I'm not trying to get the job done today. I'm just trying to get this part of the job done right now without having to run to the store. Know what I mean? If I can get away doing this job without spending any money, that touches my heart. So let's see what happens using this little guy. Got the 2 1/4 inch brad nails in there. I got my hose, and I got some air in the compressor. Let's see what happens. Watch your fingers. Another one here in the middle. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get our measurement for this cut. Yeah, looks pretty good. Aha, like a glove. Let's go ahead and brad her in. So this is what we're doing, right, y'all? We'll go all the way across to this board, then we'll continue on that way in the opposite pattern, and then we'll check in with you later. Okay, well, it's coming along pretty good. Haven't had any major problems yet, except for my nailer is not always wanting to execute its job properly, but it is now, so no complaints. Oh, you guys weren't even watching that magic. You weren't even watching that magic? It's in there, and it's tapped in, and everything looks good. So, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? So we'll do this side right here, and maybe I'll do it on fast motion, because that's always fun, fast motion. You know, sometimes you get so focused on things that you probably shouldn't be focused on that you make really stupid mistakes. And I wonder, can you see the mistake that I made here? We're not going at opposing angles like I was planning, so anyhow, and I know where I messed up because I measured up over here and I thought to myself, well, it'll be easier to work this way. So I should have put it back up there where I measured it and then I'd be going in the right sequence, but I didn't do that. So here we are. Let's finish the job. What I'll do is I'm going to take some screws and I'll pull these pieces in random points, random boards, and that way I don't think I'll have to screw them all in, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let me go ahead and get a screw started here. So get this one in here. And then I'll follow this board over, and then I'm gonna get that. And this one I have to do from the back side. So from this one down to this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put kind of, I guess you call that toenail in it in. But I'll sneak it in from the back side. Okay, so we tied this one to this board and the same board that's tied to this board right here, so that just gives us a, it'll pinch it in. We'll do that all the way around. Hello.
Whoa, in D1 you can do that?
Oh, I've already got a lot, baby.
Okay, you want to taste the mocktail?
Cheers.
Cheers, baby, I love you.
Where are you going? Right here?
Right here. It's on my lazy day today.
Very nice. Well, you see the mistake I made? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the pattern of the wood.
Oh, I actually saw it. Ta 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 ta.
Yeah.
You know, it's even nicer this way.
Hilarious. All right.
It's all good, baby, all good.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do about the legs, but I know I'm gonna measure everything at 35 inches. I might not use those timbers. I'll just go ahead and use 2x4s and keep everything looking uniform. 35 inches. I just gotta watch out for nails on these 2x4s. not to hit that nail. I hit that nail. Okay, so we have enough for 8 legs. And I'll have to go through and just match these up so that on the front we have 4 that match each other, and then on the back we have 4 that match each other. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll be right back with you. Pushing around my dolly. Whee! Okay, where's the best point of view here as we put legs on this beast? Maybe on the front. Maybe on the front you don't want to see both pieces of wood, you just want to see one piece like that. That's how I'd like it. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and screw all these things in place. And we're not going to worry about leveling it out at this point, because that's just going to be ugly, because everything here is not square and irregular. So let's just go ahead and do it. Wonder if I should blast these in place with the brad nailer first. I think that I will. I'm gonna line these up. I'm gonna line one end up so it's perfectly flush, and that'll be the part that's on the floor. Okay. If I try to straighten this out, it's gonna pop that out, huh? Maybe not. Look at that. Let's just see what happens. Just trying to get this straightened up here. There it is. Boom. Hey. Those brads are stronger than they look, huh? Okay, cool. What if I use this? Let's just see, I'm thinking about just doing it like this right here. I'm just going to put a screw in on both sides because I'll have to adjust them. Oh no, I broke my board. I should have seen that one coming up. But we know how to fix that. By golly. Yeah, almost like it never broke. All right. So we got that in place. And then we'll go ahead and put the rest of them up. Okay, so I'll measure right here. That is 12 3/4 inches. What am I saying? 12 3/4. Right there. 12 3/4. That means I must have messed up a measurement somewhere, because there's no way they're both 12 3/4, right? Okay. So that will be 12 3/4. 12 3/4. And then from here to here. Okay, so we're gonna have our 2x4 in here. That'll be our cross brace going across up here. But I got it down here just for just for grins and giggles. And I measure from here to here. You see that? And I'm looking at I'm measuring from this to this, and that is a 1/2 inch. I'm doing the same thing on this side. I will anyways. And that one looks like it's yeah, maybe about a 1/2 inch too, huh? So I'll go ahead and measure from here, from that ledge, a 1/2 inch onto this board right here. And I'll mark it, and that's where I'll cut it, and then that end will go right there. Okay. Tried to explain it. Now I just got to try to do it. Try the 2-inch nail. I'll drop a couple of screws in there first, just to be on the safe side. This thing is a beast. Put her down, now it's easy. That's a big old table right there. Can't really judge how square it is or how level it is based on this surface. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the shelves on the bottom right there, and then we'll come back and we'll sand it down. Okay, what's our measurement over here? I forgot. It is it's about 12 3/4. This is about 12 3/4. This is about 13, probably because it's just bowing out. That's 12 3/4. So we'll cut those at 12 3/4. So we'll have to cut our pieces at 12 3/4 inches. there. So our block have to be over here someplace. Let's see here. Yep. Right there. Okay. Got some boards pre-cut here. Let's see how they fit. I just don't think this phone's gonna make it through the year. So anyhow, some pieces of wood here. I'll get on this side so you're not looking at my patella. Okay. Like a glove. Okay. Wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. Just a minor setback. Okay, so I should have done this before I put those boards on, but I need to tack in all of my framing here with a screw, at least one screw, and not just those brad nails. Gee whiz. Okay, so it looks like we'll need to put a little bit of support in the center. I was kind of wondering about that. So I've got these two leftover 2x4s. I'll cut those down to 35 inches and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so our 35-inch piece. Well, I can't have it centered because of the center member we have right there, so we'll have it off-sided a little bit. I think it'll be okay. No one's gonna look at it and critique it too much. I mean, there's so many other things that you can critique this thing about, so I'm not certain people will even care about that. So I know my wife won't, and that's what's important. Plumb, but these legs will be, by golly, the two center legs are gonna be perfect. Yeah, I think that for messing around with this for half the day, it turned out pretty good. We'll get it finished tomorrow. Good night, world. Okay, so for the next step, this is day number 2. We're gonna take our grinder, flapper disc on there. This is a 80 grit, and I'll go ahead, sand this down, and clean it up. Want to make sure you have your face mask, your safety glasses, and your gloves, because this disc will rip the flesh right off of your fingers. All right, one last sip of coffee. Good to go. Okay, we'll take a quick coffee break, but what are we looking at here as we are sanding? Obviously, we're looking for areas where you have a lip on the two pieces of wood that are butting together. I like to bring those down flush. Now, you'll still have an arch in the wood, but that's just character right there. That's just beautiful stuff. And when I see like a gouge in a wood or something, or a piece where a splinter was pulled out, a large splinter, big piece of wood, I'll hit that and I'll bring it down, and I'll just try to make it look a little bit less noticeable, like that gouge right there. I might just polish that up a little bit more, but I brought that down quite a bit. And areas where there's a lot of slivers, like on the edges, the cutouts for the forklift, I like to get those cleaned up, otherwise they look really I don't even know what you call that, just ugly. That's what I call it, ugly. But you sand that down and you end up with a more finished piece, and that'll stain a lot nicer than being like this. This will just suck up the stain. You get it sanded down and it'll stain like the rest of your wood. All right, let's go drink some coffee. Okay, so the first pass on the top part of this table is done. Oh well, and the side right here, nearly done. And I'll go back over it again to hit spots that I think might look a little bit better if they're smoothed out a bit, but I'm gouging it and I'm roughing it up to try to create a hand carved kind of look. And I think she's looking pretty good. All the edges are smoothed in. All the splinters are removed. Okay, I think that we got the top, these sides, and that bottom platform done. So to get the legs, I'll flip it over because sanding the bottom where the legs touch the floor is kind of hard to get to. So we'll go ahead and flip this over. She's a beast. Bend those knees, fellas and ladies. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead, get the legs going, and I don't think that we'll have any problems with the bottom shell falling apart now that I got it screwed in. When it fell apart earlier, that was because I just had everything just brad nailed in place. So I might put a couple of braces underneath that bottom platform just to make sure. And heck, I might even do it near the top part of the table too. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so that's one leg down. And you see how I notched it and uglified it. Got it sanded down, removed all the splinters. There's a screw head that I didn't bury deep enough, and that's why I want to bury the screw heads. Just to make sure when we come back and do our sanding, they're not going to stick out and create any unnecessary ugliness. So I'll go ahead and knock out the rest of the legs, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, the sanding is done. So let's go ahead and test out the structural integrity of this unit and clean up all the dust. I've got some 2-inch width pieces of wood here. I'm going to cut these down. I'll just eyeball them to about 4 inches, and then I'll stick those on the bottom. We'll see how that goes. Maybe 3 inches. All right, put that right there, and one right there, and 2 on the other side. And we'll see if we can not poke out the other side and not crack these little boards. Oh, I'm gonna need a different bit. Come on, baby, don't crack on me. No reason to crack. Sweet. All right, didn't poke through. And just in an effort to keep things similar and equal, we'll go ahead and put one here and one here. Okay, so I got this slate colored gel stain. Not my favorite stuff in the world to work with, but I'm kind of low on options. I'm going to do the legs with this right here, and then I'll use gun stock for the top and the sides and the bottom. Okay, we'll see how this stuff works out. I know that the last time I used it, I wasn't super happy with it at first, and then it grew on me. Okay, so this will be outside, and you don't want to spend so much time building a beautiful masterpiece such as this right here and not protect it from the carpenter bees and all the other bugs that might want to bore holes into the wood. So take the time to treat the underside. I know it's not visible, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just use some paint that's going to deter the bugs, or some stain, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use some old trim paint, and then we'll whip her over and stain the top. Coming along pretty good. Actually spray painted the top part with an old can of white paint that I had, and I'm hitting the bottom with this trim paint, exterior trim paint. Got her turned over, so let's go ahead and get, oh, I see right there, I forgot to hit that spot. Let me hit that spot real quick. Let's see how this gun stock stain looks. There we go. Okay. All blown down. Looking good. She's so beautiful, words escape me. I think it'll work. So we'll go ahead and come back in about an hour, and hopefully it doesn't start raining. But we'll throw on some polyurethane, put a few coats on there, and this project is dead. We'll put that up on the porch and get some plants on there and make it look pretty. I'm out. All right, we'll go ahead and put some of this Helmsman polyurethane on there. Indoor, outdoor use. And we'll just put that on the surface areas and the side. I guess anything gun barrel. All right, so I ran to Lowe's to get myself some more of that polyurethane to finish this project, and look what I found. Look at that. That right there is a pallet made of 2x4s and timbers. Those are 12-foot 2x4s, and there's 6 of them. By gosh, I could build anything with that. I could build a fence. I could build a house.
Airplane.
I could build an airplane with it. I have everything I need.
Spaceship.
Or a spaceship. Elon, prepare for some competition.
Going down.
All right. Okay. The finished product right here. And Meg is going to use this to put her plants on, and maybe some outdoor knickknacks. It's not too bad. Hey, watch. All right.